Yo, what's up, you guys? It is Wednesday, June 25th, and we are back with another TnS Daily review. So, just jumping right into things here, I have it right at 9:30 open, and I do want to speak on the indicator here because it's actually picking up on a setup that's not even there. Um, so I do want to say as an FYI, do not trust any setup that you cannot physically see. If the indicator picks it up, you're going to want to take a look at it and see where it's at because as you can see here, I have to go back very, very far and it doesn't even pull it up. Matter of fact, we can't even go back that far because we recently just switched contracts, but for some reason it's trying to say that there's a short here and there's really just nothing there. As you can see, this is the chart. There's nothing here. It's basically just a glitch from the indicator because we switched over contracts recently. There's just nothing there. So I just want to throw that out there as an FYI. Only trust setups that you can actually see. If the indicator marks out a setup, scroll back until you can find it. If you can't find it, don't trust it because this is not TnS. This is not a TnS short, even though it did quote unquote play out because the TP is down here. It's not going to be counted towards our stats because it's not a real setup. Okay. So moving on to a setup that we actually had, we had a version 1 long here. And if I switch it to version 2, you can see that there is actually no short here. And once again, we're ignoring this massive quote unquote FEG play because it's not one. So we're ignoring that. But once again, only a version 1 long here for the only setup that we have currently. We're ignoring the short because it's not real, once again. So the short gets tagged in, and unfortunately it did get stopped out. TP would have been for 36 points, basically 1R, but it got stopped right about there. So trade number 1 is just a loss for version 1 only. Okay, now once again, that was just a loss for version 1 because it was a bullish high that overlapped the bullish FEG, so it's only version 1. And the other lows were too close, or the other highs that overlap were too close for it to be considered a version 2 long once again. So moving on, we actually didn't get another setup for quite some time. Basically at the very end of the day is when we got the next setup. So we got the setup actually here at 1:30, but it didn't get tagged in until about 3:30-ish, around there. So it took a while, but it gets tagged in actually at 3:05. And it got stopped out right at 4 o'clock here. So the TP for it was down here for 26 points. It was for negative R, and it got really, really close to hitting. It got 1 point away from the TP. Right about there is just 1 point away. You can see it got 25 points out of 26 there, but just couldn't get the job done. And then it completely turned around and stopped it out. So that was kind of unfortunate, but it was a loss. And this one was for trades, it was for TnS versions 1 and 2. So that would be lost for TnS versions 1 and 2. Okay, and that leads us in the close because that was actually right at 4 o'clock where it got stopped out, which means that was the last trade of the day. So yeah, this would be our final stats for today. Let's tally it all up and get our final results. All right, guys, so these will be our final results for TnS versions 1 and 2. TnS version 1 with minus 2R on the day, minus 70 points, and that's with no wins and 2 losses. TnS version 2 with minus 1R on the day, minus 35 points, and that's with no wins and 1 loss. So once again, another pretty slow day for TnS, both versions. You know, it only took 2 trades today for TnS version 1. Version 2 only took 1 trade. Definitely not our usual 7 trades. 7 to 9 trades is what it usually takes. We're definitely nowhere near that this week. And on top of that, they were losses, so it does, that doesn't help at all. Version 1 with minus 2R on the day, so that's not good. And then version 2 with just 1 less loss. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this daily review. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.